Hi,
Am I
Courtney.
proposing soon? Not yet.
I don't want to know. La 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 la.
Some stages to get through first.
Yeah, obviously.
Do you want kids? Absolutely.
Yeah.
My name, I'm not sure they're talking to me or you, but if you're asking me, no.
If you're asking me, I would be more than happy to change it to Gypsy Rose Euchre when I left Ryan. So this is absolutely 100% Ken's baby.
Gypsy Rose is so desperate to marry Ken that she took him on a special date to Nobu and basically proposed to him with a promise ring. This girl's trying so hard to lock this man down and mark her territory. And I have a feeling Gypsy's gonna learn the hard way that you cannot trap a man with pregnancy and marriage.
Pause there. Before Ryan, she was engaged to Ken. Ken was her pen pal while she was in prison. Gypsy broke off her engagement with Ken while she was in prison. She leaves prison while engaged to Ryan, another pen pal that she met while she was in prison. And then she breaks up with Ryan and gets back with Ken.
Could leave me right now, and it's completely out of my control. And that's scary. It was scary back then, and it's still scary now.
In the world of bizarre love stories, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is back with another one. This time, it involves her current boyfriend, Ken Urker, and Gypsy's desperate attempts to trap him in a relationship filled with manipulation, deceit, and emotional blackmail. After everything we've learned about Gypsy's dark past, her involvement in the murder of her mother, Didi Blanchard, there's an eerie sense of deja vu with how she's treating Ken. This isn't just a typical romance gone wrong, it's a calculated effort by Gypsy to control Ken, using every tactic at her disposal, from the fake marriage dates to the pregnancy that might just be her latest tool to keep him from leaving her.
Show them your makeup.
My makeup?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Weren't you just talking about how you wanted to show them your makeup a minute ago?
Oh yeah, there's just so much. And it's not organized, it's just a drawer.
Yeah,
Like
maybe not then.
Let's break it all down. Gypsy Rose is no stranger to dangerous manipulation, and Ken Urker is caught in her web. If we look back at Gypsy's history with Nick Godejohn, the man she convinced to murder her mother, we can see a clear parallel to her current behavior. Back then, Gypsy used emotional manipulation to get Nick to do her bidding, and now she's doing the same to Ken. This time, however, it's not about violence yet, it's about control. Gypsy's tactics with Ken are calculated, and the emotional manipulation is on full display in one of her recent TikTok videos. In one clip, she's cooking dinner for Ken, tears streaming down her face as she says, "We made a baby together. That is such a blessing."
I can't express enough how happy it makes me. And I know I'm bawling right now. It's just, I'm so emotional. Because we're having a baby. We made a baby together. And that is such a blessing.
Gypsy pulling on emotional strings to lock Ken in further. But Ken's body language says it all. He's uncomfortable and distant, clearly regretting his decision to re-enter her life. Ken's frustration is palpable as Gypsy continues her sob story, manipulating him in front of a live audience.
Alright, let me get closer.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, I'm just babbling.
Who's next to you? Ken.
Ken.
This pattern of manipulation echoes what Gypsy did with Nick Godejohn. Only this time, it's Ken who's trapped. Gypsy has long used tears and public displays of affection to manipulate those around her, and Ken is just the latest victim. You can see Ken's growing discomfort during their live stream. Viewers have noticed the same thing. One commenter wrote, "You can literally see it Ken's face. He's had enough." Despite Gypsy's attempts to show the world that they are madly in love, it's clear that Ken is beginning to feel trapped in the relationship.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Anna, for the roses. Do I want to change my name? I'm not sure they're talking to me or you, but if you're asking me, no. Ellen, my name is just fine.
And if you're asking me, I would be more than happy to change it to Gypsy Rose Euchre.
But Gypsy's most dangerous weapon in this relationship is the pregnancy. The news that Gypsy is expecting a child with Ken has added another layer of manipulation to the situation. Gypsy knows how to use emotional leverage to control people, and with Ken, the baby is her ultimate trap card. Gypsy uses the pregnancy to publicly pressure Ken into staying with her, making it nearly impossible for him to live without appearing heartless.
So to be clear, you haven't been with your ex for This is clearly Ken's
March.
baby.
It was mid-March when I left Ryan. So this is absolutely 100% Ken's baby. There was never any question of paternity. Baby bump reveal. I feel fat, guys. My body image right now is not that great. Because, I mean, my jeans don't fit anymore. I feel fat.
It doesn't stop at emotional manipulation. Gypsy has been using social media to create public pressure on Ken, ensuring that he feels trapped both in private and in public eye. Gypsy has leaked fake marriage dates, hinting that she and Ken were about to tie the knot, only to later deny the rumors. This tactic is classic Gypsy. Create chaos, then deny involvement, all while keeping Ken and the public guessing. The fake engagement rumors were fueled by Gypsy herself. Despite her public denial, when asked about the engagement, Gypsy claimed, "I'm not engaged. That is just a rumor." But there is speculation that Gypsy planted the rumors to begin with. This suggests that Gypsy has a habit of planting rumors, only to deny them for attention later. It's all part of her game. By keeping Ken and the public on edge, Gypsy ensures that Ken feels the pressure to stay with her.
Hi,
I might
Courtney.
be proposing soon. Not yet.
I don't want to know. La 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 la.
Some stages to get through first.
Yeah, obviously.
Do you want kids? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Eventually. Is Ken bartending? Yes. Still. Love it.
Oh, some background on him.
Do y'all live together? We do not. Hi, Tiffany.
No one is talking about this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard just announced that she is pregnant by her fiance, Ken. Now, if you've been paying attention to the Gypsy of it all, you know that when she was released from prison, she was engaged to a guy named Ryan. Pause there. Before Ryan, she was engaged to Ken. Ken was her pen pal while she was in prison. Gypsy broke off her engagement with Ken while she was in prison. She leaves prison while engaged to Ryan, another pen pal that she met while she was in prison. And then she breaks up with Ryan and gets back with Ken.
But Gypsy's manipulation isn't limited to Ken. By linking these marriage dates, she's also manipulating her followers and the media. One reviewer said, Gypsy is so desperate to marry Ken that she took him to a special date to Nobu and basically proposed to him with a promise ring. This move was another attempt to trap Ken, using the promise of a future marriage to keep him emotionally locked in.
Gypsy Rose is so desperate to marry Ken that she took him on a special date to Nobu and basically proposed to him with a promise ring. This girl's trying so hard to lock this man down and mark her territory. And I have a feeling Gypsy's gonna learn the hard way that you cannot trap a man with pregnancy and marriage. And we all know that Ken is only in this for the money and fame. Also, maybe take a breather and slow down, girl, because you're literally still married to another man. When asked about the promise ring, Gypsy said that it's a symbol of his commitment to her and their family. Then shouldn't Ken have been the one giving you a promise ring, girl? You are trying to put this man on a leash. Getting pregnant will not keep him. You cannot force somebody to love you.
But as Gypsy continues to deny these rumors, it's becoming clear that this is just one part of her larger scheme to control both Ken and the narrative around their relationship.
The thing about Ken and I is we have a long history, and our history all starts with a friendship, and then there is just a soul connection that's there, that when you meet that person, no matter how much time has passed, no matter what relationships outside of that bond is made, you keep coming back to that same person.
Gypsy's pregnancy is perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this situation. In the past, she used Nick Godejon's love for her to manipulate him into killing her mother. Now she's using the pregnancy to manipulate Ken into staying with her, despite his obvious discomfort with the relationship. Gypsy has been playing up the pregnancy on social media, using it to elicit sympathy from her followers while pressuring Ken to stick around. In a TikTok video, Gypsy frequently talks about how the baby is a blessing, positioning herself as the perfect mother-to-be. Gypsy's use of pregnancy to manipulate Ken mirrors her past behavior with Nick Godejon. In both cases, Gypsy has used emotional blackmail to get what she wants, and now Ken is the one being manipulated. Ken admits that he feels like he's been pulled back into a toxic situation, one that he tried to leave behind, but couldn't fully escape from. Ken's perspective is crucial in understanding just how deeply Gypsy's manipulation goes. Before he got back together with Gypsy, Ken had already walked away from the relationship once. In his own words, Ken explained that he didn't leave because he stopped loving her or because he met someone else. Instead, he felt like he was hindering her growth. Ken said, "I didn't stop caring about her or that I met somebody else. I just felt that I was hindering her self-development."
Fallen out of love with her, or I didn't care about her, or that I met somebody else, or it wasn't any of those things. There were a lot of people that were kind of in my ear about what our relationship was doing for her and how it was affecting her in a negative context. I felt that I was hindering her from self-development.
But despite leaving, Ken found himself drawn back into Gypsy's life. Gypsy reached out to him, and before long, Ken was back in the same toxic relationship. Ken admits that Gypsy even reached out to him right before her wedding to someone else, a clear sign that she wasn't ready to let him go. Now, Ken is back in the same position, only this time the stakes are even higher with a baby on the way. Ken's own words paint a clear picture of just how manipulative Gypsy can be. He tried to leave, but Gypsy pulled him back in, using every emotional tool she had at her disposal. As Ken himself put it, when somebody is that codependent, like Gypsy definitely was, that role was just gonna be fulfilled by somebody else. Gypsy's codependency and manipulation have left Ken feeling trapped, and it's clear that he's struggling to break free.
I didn't realize at the time, I mean, it makes so much sense now, but like when somebody is kind of codependent like that, and I would say that Gypsy definitely was, that role was just going to be fulfilled by somebody else. That she had reached this new platform of fame that she now has hundreds of people writing her with ill intentions, sure. I mean, I don't know, but a lot of them I don't trust. And that's what happened, like almost immediately.
Gypsy's manipulation isn't limited to her private life. She's also using social media as a tool to control both Ken and the public narrative. Gypsy and Ken go live on TikTok, but while Gypsy gushes about her love, Ken is visibly uncomfortable. It's a performance for the audience, but anyone paying attention can see the cracks in the relationship.
I'm scared that I bring a certain level of drama to his life that I don't mean to bring. It's like my baggage. He could leave me right now, and it's completely out of my control. And that's scary. It was scary back then, and it's still scary now. But he has my heart, and I can't control that.
By keeping their relationship public, Gypsy is making it nearly impossible for Ken to live without facing backlash. Her followers, many of whom are still sympathetic to Gypsy because of her past, would likely turn on Ken if he walked away. It's a public trap, and Gypsy is using it to her advantage. Gypsy's mastery of social media manipulation is undeniable. Gypsy knows exactly what she's doing. By keeping the relationship public, she's making sure Ken can't leave without looking like the bad guy. It's a dangerous game, and Ken is caught in the middle. As we look at Gypsy's current behavior, it's impossible not to see the chilling parallels to her past with Nick Godejohn. Back then, Gypsy manipulated Nick into committing a horrific crime. Now, while the stakes are different, the same patterns of manipulation are all too clear. Gypsy is using her emotional control over Ken to keep him in a relationship he clearly doesn't want to be in. While Gypsy hasn't asked Ken to do anything violent yet, her ability to manipulate those around her is well documented. Ken's discomfort is clear as Gypsy talks about their future together. His responses are short, irritated, and distant, a clear sign that he's feeling trapped in this relationship. The question is, how far will Gypsy go to keep Ken by her side? Ken is in a dangerous situation, both emotionally and mentally. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a master manipulator, and she's shown time and time again that she's willing to do whatever it takes to get what she wants. Right now, what she wants is Ken, and she's using every tool in her arsenal to keep him under her control. The real question is whether Ken can escape before it's too late. Gypsy's manipulation have worked on him before, and with a baby on the way, it's only going to get harder for him to walk away. If history tells us anything, it's that those who stay too long in Gypsy's world often end up paying a heavy price. Will Ken be next?